What's good, what is good, Marcellus? We're back again with another video, and today we have another episode of Bumble or Fumble, so let's get ready to bumble! You know, you get it? Alright, so the first video we did was a lot of fumbles, but one of the guys I ended up matching with, we ended up hitting it off. And I mean, like, he took my dad joke pretty well, I took his dad joke pretty well. So we started talking the beginning of this month. And I hit him with what's a pirate's favorite letter? He said C, which that's the punchline, but I was butthurt because, like, it's my punchline. So then he hit me with what do you call a fish with no eyes? Right? So then we started talking, like, a lot, and then we had a very detailed conversation about what happens to the right sock of a pair of socks, right? And we made, like, this life story about this, about right socks, and how, like, they're married to the left sock, they're unhappy, so they get lost in the dryer, stuff like that. So this guy was definitely a Bumble, which I'm pretty excited, and we still talk, like, every day, every other day, depending on how busy we were or are. So that's exciting. I'm just glad that, like, you know, almost, like, what, 2-3 weeks of me having this app, we finally have a Bumble that's, like, a-okay, good to go. So I also matched with this one guy who is actually pretty funny himself, and he takes my personalities very well, because sometimes I have a bad day, sometimes I'm moody, like, it just happens, you know, life goes on, it's okay. So when I first matched with him yesterday, I said, what does Charles Dickens keep in his spice rack? He said he wasn't sure. I said, the best of times, the worst of times. He said it was cute, and he asked if I was full of cheesy jokes. I said, well, yeah, but it depends on how sassy I am. So he was like, oh, I caught a sassy one. I said, yeah. And then he asked me about my YouTube channel, what kind of content I make, stuff like that. He said that he was, like, super into, like, Shakespeare, which I like Shakespeare. Shakespeare's pretty dope. When I read, I like to read. I'm starting to read more romance books, but typically I read, like, horror, murder mystery, or, like, very classic books, you know? So we hit it off there. He's into comedy, which, surprisingly, comedy's not my favorite, but, like, it's good. It just depends on who the comedic is, I suppose. So we started talking, and he said he plays a lot of card games, which was exciting because I prefer card games over board games. And then we started talking about Marvel and which one's, like, our favorite movie, worst favorite, stuff like that. Okay, first of all, he called me childish because he said that his favorite cookies were oatmeal raisin, and I don't like raisins. And so I told him that they were good, but because I don't eat raisins, I always eat around them. And he told me I was childish. I was like, you know what? I'll take it. Yeah, I am. So then he told me I have, like, really good energy. Oh, okay. So while he was, like, talking about, like, comedy or whatever, I asked him, like, who his favorite comedians were, which he mentioned Eddie Murphy and this other guy I've literally never heard of. Like I said, comedy is, like, not my forte. I literally only know, like, maybe 5 comics. That's about it. So then he told me I flatter him. And I said, I tend to have that effect on people. And I don't know what, like, was going on, but I was just, like, not in the mood to, like, be, like, polite, you know? Like, I was just having, like, a sassy day, I guess, or whatever. And so he was like, I can't tell if you're being cocky or confident. And I was like, usually I have very, like, low self-esteem. So I guess it's just a good day. So he took that pretty well. And we talked this morning, I think. So I also matched with a few others, but they haven't answered, and their time limit's to, like, 12 hours left, I think. So I'm just gonna read you the joke, and then you guys can comment down below what you guys think the punchline is. So for this guy, I said, what do sprinters eat before a race? I've seen this joke everywhere on Google, because I always Google the jokes before I send it to them, right? And it's not my favorite, but it's also pretty funny at the same time, so I was like, it'll do. So yeah, comment down your guys' answers below. Then this other guy I matched with, who has yet to reply, said, I asked him, why does a fish sing off-key? This one I thought was pretty funny, but it's also because I did choir for, like, over 6 years, so of course I would think it's funny. Okay, so I feel like when people have, like, a dating app or something, it's, like, an unspoken rule that if you know them or if you're friends with them, you have to match, because I've literally matched with everybody that, like, I know. or that like I used to have a crush on in high school, or that like I used to talk to and be friends with or whatever. So I ended up matching with my friend, and I said, what does a house wear? And he definitely caught me off guard with his answer. It was a really good answer. He said a coat of paint. And then he said I was fake if I didn't swipe. Which is really funny because I had the biggest crush on this dude for like the longest time. But apparently he never knew that. But then we just started like chit-chatting, talking about life and school and work because, you know, adulting, so fun. Then I also matched with this one guy. I matched with him a couple days ago, I think. But I asked him, what do you call a factory that makes okay products? He said, I'm not too sure. What do you call the factory? I said, a satisfactory. Get it? Because like satisfactory, you're like just satisfied. So he said, that was a good one. Okay, so this dude hit me with a really good joke, but at first I didn't get it because, okay, so he says, why can't a T-Rex dance? But as you can see, there's no like hyphen, there's no dash, there's no like whatever, right? And when I talk about dinosaurs and stuff, I don't type it out. Like, I'm not texting anybody, I'm always talking. So I literally read it as, oh, why can't a Trex dance? I was like, what the hell is a Trex? I was like, what? So I was just like, why not? And he said, because they're extinct, which I still at that point had not gotten the joke, so I just like sent a laughing emoji or whatever. And he asked me like how much it was. And then it did not dawn on me until like yesterday that it was T-Rex. So I feel really dumb, but that was a really funny joke, like looking back on it now. He apparently took like video classes or something like that, but he started talking to me about my channel and he said it was pretty good for like what it was and stuff. So I was pretty excited. I was like, oh my gosh, thanks. And I told him, because he was like, wow, your lighting's pretty good. I was like, yeah, thanks. Usually I just use the sun. I mean, obviously I have like an actual lamp right now, but yeah, I was like, usually I just use the sun. And then he's like wanting to be a tattoo artist, and we were talking about tattoos, but I am very afraid of needles. I don't know anything about tattoos, which is really funny because I also matched with another friend from the first episode from the last Bumble video, and he was into tattoos as well. So maybe I'll just, you know, maybe I'll just get more knowledge about tattoos at this point. But so he was like showing me the different types of tattoos, and then we were talking about something, I forget, but he was telling me that he knows a really good, oh my gosh. So in this guy's like profile thing, he says that he's really big on pizza. So I was like, all right, you're big on pizza. I gotta know. Do you prefer, like, what is your stance on pineapple on pizza? Because I love pineapple on pizza. And he said, not a fan, but then again, I don't like pineapple in general. So I was like, okay, yeah, that's fair, because like I don't like raisins. Of course, I'm not gonna eat oatmeal raisin cookies, right? So I wasn't gonna judge him or anything. And then we started talking about pizza, and he's like, I know the perfect spot, whatever, la da da. So we are planning on doing a lunch date on Tuesday. So hopefully it goes well. Hopefully I like go through with the plan. Hopefully I don't get like busy last minute or anything. So wish me luck on that. Oh my gosh, okay. So I love telling dad jokes, but I think the best part is when you tell a math dad joke, because like some people don't get it, and then you can kind of tell by how they react to that specific joke if you guys are going to be compatible or not. So I tell this guy, I asked him, I was like, how many times, oh, and this happened yesterday. So I said, how many times can you subtract 10 from 100? He said, I honestly don't know, with like a laughing emoji. And I was like, once. The next time he'd be subtracting 10 from 90. So clearly this dude did not take the joke well, because it happened yesterday night. It happened last night, and he has not like initiated any other type of conversation after that. So I think this dude was definitely a fumble, but it's okay. So I also ended up matching with this one guy I went to high school with, and he was older, and like, okay, here's the thing. We weren't necessarily friends, but we weren't like we just knew of each other, but we weren't like best of buds, you know, but like we would go out of our way to say like, hey, how's it going, you know, like if we see each other in the hallway. So I ended up matching with him, and I honestly did not know if he would recognize me or not. because it wasn't like we spoke every day. It wasn't like we spoke all the, like, you know, we just, hey, saw each other in the hallway. Hey, how's it going? That was it, right? So I said, how does a penguin build a house? He said, how? It glues it together. That joke, I'm not even kidding. That joke is one of the funniest jokes I've ever heard, read, researched, anything. So I think I'm gonna start using that joke more often because, like, penguins, who doesn't love them, right? But then he was like, oh, so you're a YouTuber now. So I was like, it's like in my head, I was like, oh wait, this guy like remembers me. That's great, you know? But it's really funny because I actually did have a crush on this guy too. But yeah, we just talked and, like, you know, casual conversation. But no, he's actually pretty dope. Okay, so this guy I matched with, he told me I had to include him in this, like, little series that I'm doing. So I matched with this guy and I asked him, so what would the Terminator be called in his retirement? He said, surprise me. I said, the X-Terminator. So then he hits me with a dad joke, and he says, do you know why ants don't get coronavirus? I said, why? He said, because they have antibodies. Because ants, right? So I was like, that was pretty good. That was pretty solid. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, that was pretty solid, right? It wasn't like a flop or anything. And so then we started talking about, so then he asked me what brought me to Bumble. And, like, I see it all over my TikTok, my Instagram. Like, literally, Bumble used to be everywhere, like, on my social medias. And so I said YouTube and my best friend, actually, because I originally did not make my profile. My best friend did, because he was like, you need to, like, get out the house, you need to socialize, you need to make friends, whatever, a lot of that. So then he asked, like, why YouTube brought me here, and that I told him that I'm just here for, like, the laughs and to see how they react to dad jokes and stuff. So he was like, oh my gosh, you have to please, like, include my joke. So there you are, there's your joke. But yeah, so then we started talking for a couple days, and it's not like it was, like, bad conversation or anything. I think, like, me and him could be really cool friends because, like, we just vibe pretty well. But I think out of all these people that I've mentioned so far, the one that I've vibed with the most is definitely the sock guy. I don't want to put their information out there, but so I'm just gonna, like, nickname them. But me and the sock guy have been talking literally, like, every other day for the longest time. And it's like we're, like, the same person. Like, you know when you talk to certain people and you feel obligated to ask them, like, hey, so if they ask you, hey, how's your day, you feel obligated to reciprocate that. It's not like that. Like, with us, it's just like oh, hey, how was your day? Oh, that's nice. You know what I did today? Like, you know, it was just like a nice, easy flowing. There was nothing forced about it, you know? So I think me and this dude we definitely gotta meet up and hang out or something. But I mean, I at least want this dude to be my best friend because we had, like, an hour-and-a-half conversation about a sock. About a sock? About a sock. Like, it's so mind-boggling how you could turn nothing into something, you know? But I think we had our fair share of fumbles and bumbles in this video, which is exciting considering last video. So that'll be all for today's video. Hopefully I get more. Actually, I was thinking about it, and I'm probably going to do a best friend edition too, since Bumble has that side of them as well. So if you want to stick around for that, you can. Yeah, so if you like this video or this series, please sure to give it a big thumbs up. Tell me in the comments, like, how you guys actually feel, because at first I was super, like, apprehensive about this series. Smash the subscribe button down there while you're at it, because I am hilarious regardless what Bumble says or the people I match with, okay? Alright, toodles.